We saw the shame when Rufai supporters chanted, "Nothing can happen to him." Nze. Political analyst Eziocha Nze has criticized the chaotic scene that erupted at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport when security operatives attempted to detain former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai upon his return from abroad. Speaking on AIT, Nze described the incident as overblown and embarrassing, noting that El-Rufai supporters formed a human shield around him and chanted slogans of loyalty, including, "He's our leader, nothing will happen." He said, trying to arrest him was a drama that went so far. And we saw the shame, so to say, when his supporters started shouting, "This country should be moving above that." You see, staging it to look like there's a motive behind it. They argue that such public spectacles undermine legal processes and reinforce the perception that political figures and their supporters act above the law. He emphasized the authorities should follow proper democratic procedures, such as issuing formal invitation or warrants to maintain public trust and prevent confrontational scenarios. The analyst called for adherence to lawful protocols to ensure accountability and strengthen Nigeria's institutions. Okay, Precious said, what is his offense warranting arrest or even issuing warrant of arrest or invitation? I don't know why. They didn't tell us exactly why. This one says he stole 423 billion naira. Okay, Mohammed Ilyas says, "See, shameless idiot is talking about shame." Joe Fabro says, "Nze, you should know that double standard weakens an organization. If Yaya Bello cannot be arrested, for Rufai will tell you that they belong to the same class. The Senate should be matured enough to know when to say no to anything the president throws to the Senate. They can never say no to the president. Everything the years have it, that's what they will say. To the Senate ministerial appointment has a process that must be followed. They don't follow process again. They just do anything they like in that place. It is well. South Africa says, my brother Nze, I swear since I was born in Mushin, Lagos State, 1950, this devilish satanic occultic non-entities called the APC is the worst ever. Why at the airport? Wonderful. If Nigerians don't team up to dismantle this devilish satanic occultic association, PLC, chaos, anarchy, confusion, strife, binds and wickedness will never end. I'm telling you. Precious replies and says, Grandpa, I salute you. May your days be long on earth. God bless you, sir. Kwashi says, if I was president, I would sack all the DSS people involved. They staged the show and El-Rufai has oiled some hands. Does that level of crowd welcome always? Sheikh Balogun says he has organized this terrorist gang in advance if it's coming, and that will be his end. The whole world is after the deadly terrorist sponsors. But why can't they just invite him? They should have just invited him. And then if he doesn't go, then you can go and do that show. Why go and try to arrest him at the airport? He's just coming into the country. At least give him some time. You usually send invitations to people and say, okay, please visit us at our office. Why go to the airport to create drama? Really, why? But she says due process must be followed. If not, that's the only language they can understand. Bezrekia says, I hear you saying El-Rufai and Buhari bring terrorists from Sahel Desert to Nigeria because of fear of losing Nigeria to southern states. Remy Brike says, well, things that happen in a lawless country. Tinubu started it. He dictated to INEC and judiciary, a shame of a country. Afokin says, you are arresting El-Rufai because he belongs to an opposition party, whereas Gumi is really walking around, still propagating mercy for terrorists and buyers. I don't know why they've not arrested that Gumi. No, I can't wait for something to happen to that Gumi. Festus Spence said that is why they have terrorist bandits in their state, because they are easily manipulated by extremists and they don't know anything yet. El-Rufai has his own arrogant lifestyle, but he wants people to respect him even when he was FCC minister. And let me say this, that the way governments employ when northerners were in power shows the bastardized system in all sectors, and agencies when military, and their behavior in people's states is something the government needs to checkmate. Kofar Olablanco says, are you not the same? Is it not in the system of the country? Shameless people. Indeed. And one Clement says Nigerian security agencies are not properly trained. Or will I say they don't know their jobs? That's the case. Not knowing their job, not knowing when to do something. Somebody says arresting opposition is a sign of losing out before the D-Day. Afterwards, says, in fact, Rufai should be arrested. It is now he realized rule of law. He has forgotten all the evils he perpetrated during his tenure as FCT minister. And as governor of Kaduna State, Nigerians are so forgetful. But that is not the reason why they are arresting him. If that was the reason why they are arresting him now, we would say okay. But that's not why they are arresting him. They are arresting him because he's an opposition right now. Emmanuel Odo says the approach was wrong. Police or EFCC should be more civil in their approach. Have there been never seen EFCC that will go and jump people's house and break in? Civil. But that's how they risk a real less privileged person. They did it to a very dark man, Amazin Amdekano in Kenya. That's how they behave, like criminals. It is well. No, John says you can say that again, sir. It was such a shame. Nigerians would never learn. Sule Ibrahim says, well, the question people were asking is why now? Since when El Rufai left office, why he was not arrested until he joined opposition party exactly? So that's to let people know that it is only people in APC that are safe. If you're in opposition party, you are not safe. That is why most of those governors, all of them, fear, they don't run to APC because they don't want their secrets to be exposed. Why? He was in APC, since people didn't arrest him. But when he decided to join ADC, you started pursuing him around. Why now? Nobody is above the law if due process is followed, but people are right to air their views and angers about misuse of security agents. Gesine 377 says, your father and mother are the shame to their own parents and community. They are the most stupid bigots ever and useless being. El Rufai is far, far better than you and your armed robbery lineage. Fool and devil combined. Manga says, with this overzealous empty arrest or destination, it sees the politics and cause harms to the nation. A serious nation will call and investigate who ordered the arrest and on what ground, and who authorized the go-ahead to do so without due process. In fact, the person that does that is reducing the presidency to nothing. Though my advice and view might not be seen, of course, you know. It says El Rufai have done so many bad things and he has to be arrested for questioning. Muhammad says that was to tell you that the Igbos are cowards, a bunch of idiots, asasal, that could not stand up for their own, okay? Also to tell us that the law is meant for some people. If the Igbos tried that, many people would have lost their lives there. It is well. My listeners, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.